What if you could avoid the predicament of 83% of all people? I'm talking about people who are not achieving the wealth they were created to enjoy. What if we could hand you the key that could unlock wealth for you? I'd like to share with you today an introduction to the key to your wealth. Now, this secret lies not in what you do, but actually who you are. This is not just for business people or entrepreneurs or owners of large companies. It's also for people who have a job, homemakers, whether men or women, and even young adults ready and craving to emerge from adolescence. What you can take away from this is how to get on your path to your wealth and have it flow like a river. How to have the joy you used to have. Remember as a child when you role played and you dreamed big? That's most likely your path of your game. And while there are many nuances to your wealth profile and achievement, which we're going to go over in other videos, right now we want to look at the different wealth profile categories themselves. Now, first of all, what is wealth?
Well, let's start with what wealth is not. It's not money or how big your bank account is. And it's not how many homes you own. And it's certainly not the car you drive, even if it's paid for. So wealth. Well, we define wealth. Wealth is what you have left after you lose all your money. Now I want to reveal to you the wealth matrix, which is made up of 8 points that represent the 8 ways to achieve wealth. See, there's not just one way, but actually 8 ways to achieve your personal wealth. Now, as you go upward, you'll find on the upward area that people are more innovative. They have innovation. And you'll find they're intuitive, heads in the clouds type of people. On the bottom end, in the yellow area, you have people who have timing and sense of time. They're more feet to the ground. Very different and very opposite types. Now we have another development. As it moves to the right, we take in different personality types, different people. As you move to the far right. Now on the left, you have introverted people. And on the right, of course, extroverts. And as you move along there, you'll find that the introverts are able to multiply and expand what they've got. The extroverts, what do? They magnify things. Now notice that there's 8 points, the 4 corners, and also the points or the lines have dissected the outside of the box, or the matrix. Let's go back to the original color, and let's clean this and take a look at the 8 specific profiles. This will be your, oh wow moment. Now I want to start at the top we were talking about. Remember, we're talking about intuitive type peoples? We have up there the first profile, and that is called a creator. Now a creator, again, has head in the clouds, but is always thinking up things. For example, who's one of the great creators of history? Walt Disney. Walt Disney was always creating things, always drawing things. Another famous one that you know of is Sir Richard Branson. Another one of the famous ones from history, Thomas Edison. Again, these guys are with their heads in the clouds, but always creating things and getting their flow, getting their wealth from that. And then Stephen Jobs, the guy who started with Apple, left Apple, came back, left, and came back again, has created a number of things. What a creator he was. And finally is the all-time creator, or the richest man in the world, Bill Gates. Bill Gates has created many things. He started many things, but not finished many. Moving on to the right, we have what we call your star profile. Now, the star profile is someone that, as you can imagine, shines and builds their wealth from being themselves. What famous one do we have here? Well, we have Martha Stewart. And she bounced in because when she was in her profile as a star, she made a lot of money. When she got out of her profile is when she actually got into her legal troubles. Now, moving on down the side here, we have what we call a supporter. It's a supporter who can put together teams, very valuable. And when they know that's their flow, that's where they should be, is putting together teams to help support, say, a creator. A very famous supporter is one who has helped support the creator up there right now. Who is that? That's Steve Ballmer, the president of Microsoft. He's the one that's actually run Microsoft. After Bill Gates would think of the ideas, Steve would implement them and build teams around that. Now moving down, we're still on the extrovert side, but now we're moving down to the timing end of the matrix. And down at the bottom here we have what's called deal makers. That's right, they're always dealing. They know something about each transaction. They know both sides. They know what makes a good deal. Now who do we know would be good at that? Of course, the Trumpster, Donald Trump, one of the worldwide deal makers. Now moving across, getting to where they're completely got their feet on the ground is what we call a trader. Now a trader is different in that they know when to move things, when to create a product that you can trade out into the marketplace. Very famous trader for that is George Soros. He, along with Templeman, have created funds that have been used for investments for many, many years. Now as we go along to the left, we're going to find something very interesting here. What we call, here they come down, accumulating down at the bottom, accumulators. What accumulators do? Exactly that. They accumulate. They hang on to things. That's how they feel their wealth. They spend a lot of times determining what is best to get and hang on to. And who's one of the most famous of that? That's right, Bill Gates' friend, Warren Buffett. Now, like Bill Gates has created so many things in Microsoft, on the far end here, the accumulator, Warren Buffett, hasn't created anything in his life. That's probably a little harsh, but very rarely. He gets his wealth through seeing things that he knows are worth hanging on to, and he buys them at a good price and hangs on to them. Very important to know that profile. Moving back up here to where we're getting somebody very introverted is what we call a lord. Now, a lord is not lording it over everybody, but he's one that can control things and can run things strong. Who's this? John D. Rockefeller, one of the great lords. Very important to understand this profile. Now, the final wealth profile is up in the upper left-hand corner, and that's what we call a mechanic. That's not someone who gets under your car, but in the same sense, he knows how to pick apart a business, how to create systems that will help make a business run smoother. Those are very important. Very famous ones, Ray Kroc. The one we're showing here is Sam Walton. He was able to put together a system, a way of doing business that created the great Walmart fortune. Well, there you have it. Those are the 8 profiles. And you fall into one of those. There is actually a test we have that will help you determine which one of these you are. And when you get into your profile, you find that you actually don't go to the next level. You actually catapult your possibilities for wealth. And actually, then the world does become your oyster. Those are the intersections where the 8 profiles of wealth enhancement or development actually are. Well, in future ones, we'll talk about how individual wealth profiles, like the creator, should team up with who? With a supporter. How a star should team up with what? A deal maker. And notice something there they're sort of skipping? Very important concept to understand. We'll go into that in the future. For now, this is Mike Seeley saying, thanks for watching.